But that's what yeah.
Wedding March.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Nice to have so many people here. And people came at different times, so you didn't get your usual seats, huh? Many of you. Okay, nice to have a number of us here for this Joya end of year service. And so it's always a special time to come and close the year and do that together and to hit the Kansho at the end of service. For today's service, we'll have the chanting of the Sambujo on page 2425. And then the main body of the chanting will be the Juseige on page 93. Hopefully you can participate or follow along as we chant. The Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of our service. Okay, and then I'll come back for our Dharma message and some of our readings. So during our final two services of the year, this one and then the New Year service, usually we don't have a gathas singing, and so Lenny gets to have a little break, and so we don't have an organist for these, and kind of a simplified, bare bones service that we have for today and tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy this gathering. Okay. Sambujo, page 2425.
Sambujo.
世主、不採商民部、政府上昇が、可視成仏の、幼少長実法、空教未証門、政府上昇が、魅力人少年、条例主言病、四無浄土、一生天人師、人力現代公、無償無才道、少女三空明、法裁修薬難、愛意志永遠、熱し根本案、永足小悪道、数月全修門、放送上満蔵、医療老実法、日月修十期、天候本空言、一周会放送、法政不六法、情報大集中、説法四四空、空用一切物、偶則修徳本、願礼秩序満、徳理三大法、妙仏無下知、通達未不詳、願学営利、同志最小尊、時間百国家、大仙王官道、奥小天人、大慈の
Each year when we come to the end of year service, myself, I get reflective and I think to carry this through for our service and our message today, and so many things to reflect upon when I look out to everyone here that's in attendance, different things that each of the families, each of the individuals have gone through or dealt with, whether they be health or wellness considerations, or losing people in their families, and people go through different things at different times. And one of the grounding and connecting things that we have to share together is to come to service on Sundays and on other days, and to chant together, to recite the Namo Amida Butsu together. And these are grounding aspects of our lives. And so when I think about the reflections, thinking about all the different things, and we learn about the interconnectedness of life and all the different causes and conditions that create this moment of our lives that we are going through at this particular time. And when we come to the final service, one of the highlights is to hit the bell, the Kansho in the next room, and this is called the Joya no Kane, and we hit the bell 108 times, not each, but in total. So we'll divide it up. I'm not sure how many. I think 3 or 4 times each is fine. And so the number 108 is reflected in the larger version of our onenju, has 108 beads, and these are symbolic of the 108 Bonno, or blind passions, that we each have in our human lives. Okay? And so when we hit the bell, it's not to get rid of our blind passions. Okay? We have these blind passions as human beings, and it's to acknowledge that we do have these limitations. Our blind passions might be something that how we cling to things, how we hold things, how we would like to have whatever they might be, something we would like to own, something that we have, something we treasure, okay? And we can't help it. We each care dearly for our homes and our loved ones, but these are also our attachments that we have, and these bring, as well as they bring meaning to our lives, they bring a part of the suffering that we endure as well. So it's not to get rid of the blind passions, but to acknowledge that we live in this manner as human beings. We have these attachments, and particularly Shin Buddhist, where we are householders. Okay, we didn't leave our daily lives to go live in a monastery or at a temple as a nun or a monk or something like this. We live our everyday lives, and we have all these attachments, layer upon layer of attachments. Okay, and we don't try to get rid of them, but it is important to acknowledge them and to be aware of this is our human condition. This is why my perspective is a limited perspective and not a clear perspective like the Buddha might have. Okay, so as we acknowledge them, we are able to see our true selves, and in that light, then we're not so entangled and we're not so burdened by our self-centeredness. When we do our readings, time and again, we're reminded of our greed, anger, and ignorance, of our self-centeredness, our ego attachments, and all of these are pointing out these are our blind passions. So all of our readings, many of them, all of our words, many of them, are directing us to recognize this, okay? And even though we have them, still we have this life gathering together with friends and family, chanting together, eating together, sitting together with tea or coffee or drinks and food afterwards in the social hall, all of these things where we connect to each other. And this is very, very important, substantial part of our life here at the temple. Okay. And so when we hit the Kansho, ringing in the 108, we're not hoping for a good year or a better year, or I win the lotto or something like that. Sharman and I, we buy lotto tickets. Someday you might wonder, where did Sensei go? And Sensei will be gone all of a sudden, because I won't tell you why, but maybe. Okay? Yeah. So as I looked upon this past year, one of the main things that I was thinking about is changes in our fundraisers. We've had major things like the bazaar and the Bonno and things like this that we've done for many, many years. And a new one, we had the Hidden Treasures sale. And these are not just like a yard sale, but very special things that were brought by our elders and families. Sometimes we lose someone who is elder, and the young ones want to get rid of some of the things. And a lot of the families have very, very special, very nice items that they no longer need in their families. So we had these, they were appropriately called hidden treasures. So very special things, not lawnmowers and garden tools and tires, but kimono and tansu and imari ware and things like this. They were very, very nice. And so this was a kind of a new endeavor. And after we were done, it looked like, gee, it's so much work. It's so much work to put it out, make it look nice, make it attractive, and hopefully it'll be successful. But we had no idea because we didn't know who was going to come or what to expect. And they did well. We did really well. Really? How much? Really? Really? And everyone is shocked, pleasantly surprised as to, we need these funds to be able to sustain our temple, continue with the programs, and they did very, very well. And so this is something the committee that organized and got everything prepared for the sale, I think quietly they were thinking, oh no, it was too successful. We got to do it again. Yeah, but very, very successful, and many people are looking forward to doing this again. And on the other side of the spectrum, the bazaar, it's always been a 2-day bazaar, okay? It's called the Vacation Land Bazaar here in Alameda. And 2 days in June, we have this big bazaar with games for the children and Japanese foods and different kinds of things, activities and booths going on. And we decided, let's cut it to 1 day, right? And this is a huge, huge thing. And it was successful, but with 1 day, it's quite a bit less substantial as far as funds coming in for the temple. And so to evaluate, do we want to do it? Do we want to go back to 2 days? Do we want to just keep it 1 day and do some other types of fundraisers? And this is like a major debate for the temple, right? And so finally, 1 day is enough. Everyone is getting older. The ones who were strong, we are now the elders, right? We are the seniors. And so we're running out of manpower. We're running out of people who, there used to be plentiful. How many people could run these booths and all, cook all the food and bring them out and be hospitable and kind to the guests that come, and not nearly as many people. And it is tiring to work all day, and then come back for a second day. So, gee, do we really need this second day? And so we decided to just leave it. Let's just leave it at 1 day. So it was very successful, and some people are relieved and others are disappointed. But I think overall it makes a lot of sense. And then finally the Bonno, we have the dancing. And it used to be, we would make and sell all these traditional Japanese foods. And because of that, our members would be busy in the kitchen preparing food and bringing them out and serving them. So they didn't get to participate in the dancing, right? And so a couple years ago, we decided to change this up. And why don't we not sell food, not make it a fundraiser? Then our own members could participate. It's a very significant festival, event, where we're remembering those people that we have lost in our lives, in our families, and we're sending our appreciation and our thoughts toward them. And so juxtaposing good and bad, grief and happiness, losing someone, at the same time dancing in a big circle and appreciation of the support we have in the Sangha and doing all this together. Then our own members are not even participating, and it becomes kind of like an event for people who are not a part of the temple just to enjoy Japanese culture or something. Okay? And that's okay too, but for our members, it's really missing the point. So that's another major decision. Why don't we not make it a fundraiser? We won't even advertise it nearly as much as we did before. You know, close friends of the temple and our families, sure, they're welcome, but let's make it so that our own members can dance and enjoy it. And a couple of years ago, we had special, what were they called? Floats. We decorated wheelchairs, so people who could not walk or dance, they were pushed in this circle with decorated floats, also known as wheelchairs, but floats. But they got to come in the circle, and they're so happy to be a part of that dance circle. Their hands are dancing, right? And their feet could not move, but someone else is pushing them, and they're enjoying this dance. And so just that vision was so touching. I think that was a big part of the Bonno Dori becoming for our members. Let's do this for our members. And there's a couple other temples that do this, but for the majority, they still use it as a big fundraiser. It attracts a lot of people. It's one of the most festive and colorful events at our temple, on the temple calendar. And so people all over Alameda and elsewhere too, they know when our Bonno Dori will be, and they come knowing that these festivals are going on. So some of them come and are disappointed that there's no food for sale and things like this. But the change is very positive, and I think the members, the leaders, the board are all in agreement that it's a good change, So a lot of these things have been going on throughout the course of this year, and I think these are all major changes in how we go about our temple calendar and the significant events during the year. I'd like to mention some of the losses that we have endured this year. In February, Masaki Mastakano passed away. And also in February, Ann Ito, Jackie, lost her mother. In April, Bruce Yamanaka passed away, one of our younger family members. And then in May, Kyoshi Naito, Jane's father, passed away. And so I think this is a deep connection for Jane. Her grandfather was one of our past ministers here at the temple, and then her father served a number of terms on our board and was a BCA national president as well. And I think it has much to do with the energy that Jane puts in towards our temple and trying to make sure that everything goes well and is led properly here in Alameda. And Sueyatsu also passed away. This was in July. And posthumously, she participated in our BCA art exhibit, our virtual art exhibit. And through my suggestion, the family was talking about how Anne loved to do watercolors. This is during our funeral meeting. So while we have this art exhibit, maybe you would want to enter your mother's artwork. So that might be a nice way to remember her. So okay, let's do that, Sensei. So they sent in maybe 3 or 4 of her paintings, and the family was able to remember even more deeply what Anne had meant to all of them. And in September, we lost Mr. Harry Hara. And so he passed away and had a service at the Chapel of the Chimes in Hayward. So in losing these people, some of us remember some of them and closer to some of them. Others of us, we come during our monthly memorial, the first Sunday of each month, and we have asked to have family names placed on the Shotsuki list. And the first Sunday is dedicated to reading those names. And when we read the names, the family members come to represent the family and come up to offer incense or shoko during the reading of the names. And this is another memorial service that we are able to offer our families. And this is separate from requested family services, memorials. You know, they may want to have a 1-year service, 3-year service, 7th-year service, and this is private family service that we will arrange to fit the temple calendar. But through all of these, not just to look at only our losses and our grieving, but through these, you know, I try to explain that in a very real way, the people we lose become our teachers. They become our Buddhas, our Bodhisattvas, our teachers, then Jishiki. And through them, you know, initially we cry, we have grief for losing someone dear to us. But through that loss, we open and we open and we open. Okay? And so this grieving changes naturally to a gratitude. Because they touched our lives, we have been touched by them. We are who we are because of those people we have lost. Okay? We recognize mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, but when it gets to 3rd generation, 4th generation, 5th generation, it's just a blur, right? We recognize the name, but we have no image in our mind of who that person was, what they looked like, what they did. It's just too far away. But through that, we're connected to more and more. And the ones we recognize become the gateway to the infinite. Okay? And this infinite is what makes our lives today. And this is what it means when we say Namo Amida Butsu, and we put our hands together. Amida Buddha, Namo Amida Buddha. And not some deity, but to acknowledge this infinite reality that we're all a part of, that we're all connected to, and this grounds our lives. This is what brings gratitude and appreciation. So when we do lose someone, there's a sad period, there's a grieving period, but also we are moved to dance, to eat, to talk, to laugh, and all of these things. So not a celebration of life, and let's not look at the death, but let's look at what they did for us. No, this is only looking at one side. In Buddhism, we want to look at both sides, the full spectrum of life and death, okay? Together. So this is what brings depth and meaning to each of our lives. So this is what it's about here, okay? So, this will conclude my message for today. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Okay, now counting 5, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 35. 35 divided by 108. 3. You can hit it 3 times. You're going to come in and hit the Kansho 3 times. I would like you to line up, no pushing and shoving in line. Line up politely and kindly. And there's not much room. It's kind of like stepping into a phone booth, okay? So single file. If you like to wear the earphones, you can. The earmuffs, you can. But you hit the Kansho 3 times, and then come out, offer incense, okay? And then there's some other things that I have put out in display. We did this last year as well. Little explanation and different things that you might hear during different services, and you can read those if you have questions. You can hit any of them, okay? Play with these, just don't steal them. Okay, very good. So, after the books are collected and passed, put away, we could come up and line up Okay, here we go.
Yeah. The bell. No, of course. It's the bell. It's the bell.
鐘叩くの。ポケットします。
Been through this before. Bring the light here.
So you can get